Welcome to Spelling List 9. This is an alternative spelling list for the Logic of English Essentials Lesson 9. We recommend you complete Part 1 before studying these words. Before we begin, let's look at 3 new phonograms together. This is ah, 2-letter ah. Go ahead and say that with me. And what do you notice about this phonogram? May it be used at the end of the word? No. Why not? Because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. And since this ends in a U, we cannot use it at the end. So we have a spelling that we may use at the end. This is ah, 2-letter ah, that we may use at the end of English words. And this is ah, 2-letter ah, that we may not use at the end of English words. Our third phonogram looks like this, and you can see how it's related in spelling. And the sounds for this phonogram are ah, af. Go ahead. Ah, af. Very good. All right, let's go ahead with our spelling list. The first word is unfair. I think the referee's call was unfair. How many syllables in unfair? 2. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is un. N. The second syllable is fair. F. A, 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. R. Go ahead and write unfair. And now help me to write it. Sound it out as I write it. The first syllable is un. N. The second syllable is fair. A. R. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the 2-letter A. And now, un is a prefix which means not. So unfair means not fair. The next word is tight. This shirt is too tight. How many syllables in tight? 1. Let's sound it out together. T, I, t. What do you notice about the spelling of I? You're right, it's the 3-letter I. Go ahead and write tight. And now help me to write it. T, I, t. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the I. Also, this phonogram that ends in a GH is used only at the end of the word or before the letter T. So in tight, it is following the rule. The next word is clear. The clear sky is a sign of a high pressure system. How many syllables in clear? 1. Let's sound it out together. K, L, E. This is an E, A, R. Go ahead and write clear. And now help me to write it. K, L, E, R. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the E. The next word is forward. Take 1 step forward. How many syllables in forward? 2. Notice I exaggerated the second syllable. Forward. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is for, f, or. The second syllable is ward, w, r, d. Go ahead and write forward. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is for, f, or. The second syllable is ward, w, r, d. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the or and the r. The next word is grain. The grain of salt on the pretzel is very large. How many syllables in grain? 1. Let's sound it out together. G, A, 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. N. Go ahead and write grain. And now help me to write it. G, A, N. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the A. The next word is alarm. Her alarm did not go off this morning. How many syllables in alarm? 2. The first syllable is A. The second syllable is larm. L, R, M. Go ahead and write alarm. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is A. The second syllable is larm. L, R, M. And how will we mark it? We'll write a line over the A because A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable, and we'll underline the R. The next word is chicken. The chicken clucked loudly. How many syllables in chick-en? 2. The first syllable is chick. Ch, I, k. Notice this is a 2-letter k. The second syllable is n. N. Go ahead and write chick-en. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is chick. Ch, I, k. The second syllable is n. N. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the ch and the k. Notice we used a 2-letter k after a single short vowel. The next word is seats. Please take your seats. How many syllables in seats? 1. Let's sound it out. S, E. This is an E at A. T, S. Go ahead and write seats. And now help me to write it. S, E, T, S. And how will we mark it? We will underline the E. The next word is cord. Please wind up the cord and put it in the bag. How many syllables in cord? 1. Let's sound it out together. K. This is a k, s, or d. Go ahead and write cord. And now help me to write it. K, or, d. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the or. The next word is sport. Do you play a sport? How many syllables in sport? 1. Let's sound it out together. S, p, or, t. Go ahead and write sport. And now help me to write it. S, p, or, t. And how will we mark it? We will underline the or. The next word is aunt. My aunt lives in Kenya. How many syllables in aunt? 1. Let's sound it out together. Aw. This is 2-letter aw that you may not use at the end of English words. N, t. Go ahead and write aunt. And now help me to write it. Aw, n, t. And how will we mark it? We will underline the aw. The next word is brother. My brother works at the gym. How many syllables in broth-er? 2. Notice we're going to exaggerate the aw sound in broth-er. All right, let's sound it out together. First syllable is broth. B, r, a, v. The second syllable is This is the of her. Go ahead and write broth-er. And now help me to write it. Let's sound it out together. B, r, a, v. Second syllable is And how will we mark it? We'll underline the v, and we'll put a 2 over it because v said its second sound, and we'll underline the The next word is mother. My mother is at home. How many syllables in moth-er? 2. And you'll notice once again we're going to exaggerate the aw sound in moth-er. Let's sound it out together. A, v. Second syllable is Go ahead and write moth-er. And now help me to write it. A, v. Second syllable is And how will we mark it? We'll underline the v, and we'll put a 2 over it because v said its second sound, and we'll underline the The next word is daughters. I have 2 daughters. How many syllables in daughters? 2. And how will we sound it out together? D, aw. Notice we have a 4-letter aw here. The second syllable is ters. T, z. Go ahead and write daughters. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is da, d, aw. The second syllable is ters. T, z. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the ah and the And you'll notice the z said its second sound z in daughters. So we'll put a 2 over it. The next word is teacher. She is an excellent teacher. How many syllables in teach-er? 2. The first syllable is teach. T, E. This is an E at A. Ch. And the second syllable is er. And this is the er of her. Go ahead and write teach-er. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is teach. T, E, ch. The second syllable is er. And how will we mark teacher? We'll underline the E and the ch and the er. Notice the root word of teacher is the verb teach. And when we add the er here, it means someone who teaches. The next word is awkward. She felt rather awkward. How many syllables in awkward? 2. The first syllable is awk. Aw. This is 2-letter aw that you may use at the end of English words. K. Tall k. The second syllable is ward. W-R-D. Go ahead and write awkward. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is awk. Aw. K. The second syllable is ward. W-R-D. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the ah and the r. The next word is restaurant. What time should we meet at the restaurant? How many syllables in res-ta-rant? 3. The first syllable is res. S. The second syllable is ta. T. Ah. This is 2-letter ah that you may not use at the end of English words. The third syllable is rant. R-ah. This is an a-ah. N-t. Go ahead and write res-ta-rant. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is res. R-s. The second syllable is ta. T. Ah. And the third syllable is rant. R-A-N-T. Now, how will we mark restaurant? Well, first of all, we'll underline the ah. And here we have an a-ah saying it's broad sound. So we'll put 2 dots over it to show us that it's saying it's broad sound. The next word is somersault. The girl did a perfect somersault. Let's sound it out together. We have sum-mer-salt. 3 syllables. The first syllable is sum. S-a-m. The second syllable is mer. M-er. And this is the er of her. And the third syllable is salt. S-a. 2-letter ah that you may not use at the end of English words. L-t. Go ahead and write sum-mer-salt. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is sum. S-a-m. The second syllable is mer. M-er. And the third syllable is salt. S-a-l-t. And how will we mark somersault? We'll underline the er and the ah. The next word is tax. The city charges sales tax. How many syllables in tax? 1. And let's sound it out. T-ax. Go ahead and write tax. And now help me to write it. T-ax. All right. The next word is highway. The car merged onto the highway. How many syllables in highway? 2. The first syllable is high. I. Notice what kind of I. The second syllable is way. W-a. And do you know what kind of a to use here? Very good. Go ahead and write it. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is high. I. The second syllable is way. W-a. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the I and the A. And why did we use a 2-letter A there? because it's at the end of the word, and we use two-letter A that you may use at the end of English words. And when a word ends with a single letter A, it usually says aw. So here we know when we hear A at the end, it's usually going to be spelled with an AY. The next word is caterpillar. A caterpillar crawled up the tree. How many syllables in cat-er-pill-lar? Did you get it? Let's do it one more time. Cat-er-pill-lar. 4. All right, go ahead. The first syllable is cat. K-at. The second syllable is The third syllable is pill. P-I-L. And the fourth syllable is lar. L-R. Go ahead and write cat-er-pill-lar. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is cat. K-at. The second syllable is The third syllable is pill. P-I-L. And the fourth syllable is lar. L-R. Now, how will we mark caterpillar? We'll underline the and the R. Now, you'll notice in the word caterpillar, we often say cat-a-pillar. This whole syllable becomes the schwa sound, and it has to do with, once again, the accent. So for spelling, we're going to exaggerate cat-er-pillar, and we'll do each of the sounds. And in some dialects of English, that sound is actually enunciated more clearly as well. The roots of caterpillar, interestingly, are cat, and pillar can mean hairy, or it can also be related to the word pillage, so to destroy completely. So a caterpillar is something that destroys. The next word is astronaut. He is an astronaut. How many syllables in astronaut? 3. The first syllable is ass. Ass. The second syllable is T-R-O. And the third syllable is not. N-aw. This is two-letter aw that you may not use at the end of English words. T. Go ahead and write astronaut. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is ass. Ass. The second syllable is T-R-O. The third syllable is not. N-aw. T. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the O. Why? A-E-O-U usually say their names at the end of the syllable, and we'll underline the aw. By the way, astro refers to space, so whenever you see the root astro in a word, you know it has something to do with space. And then naut means actually a boat or someone who sails. So you get nautical out of this word as well. And so an astronaut is someone who sails or travels to space. The next word is binoculars. Use these binoculars to see the bird. How many syllables in bi-noc-u-lars? 4. The first syllable is bi, b-I. The second syllable is knock, n-a-k. This is a k-s. The third syllable is u. And the fourth syllable is lars, l-r-z. Go ahead and write bi-noc-u-lars. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is bi, b-I. The second syllable is knock, n-a-k. The third syllable is u. And the fourth syllable is lars, l-r-z. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the I. Now notice the I said its long sound at the end of the syllable. We'll put a line over the U, and U said its long sound at the end of the syllable, which is A-E-O-U. Usually say their names at the end of the syllable. We'll underline the R, and we have the Z saying its second sound. In the word binoculars, you'll notice we have the prefix bi. And maybe you could watch as we go ahead and discover what you think bi means. The next word is bifocals. Grandpa tucked his bifocals into his pocket. How many syllables in bifocals? 3. The first syllable is bi, b-I. The second syllable is fo, f-o. And the third syllable is cals, we have a k, s, a, l, z. Go ahead and write bifocals. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is bi, b, I. The second syllable is fo, f, o. The third syllable is cals, k, a, l, z. And here we have the I saying its long sound at the end of the syllable, the O saying its long sound at the end of the syllable, which is A, E, O, U, usually say their names at the end of the syllable. And we have the S, Z saying its second sound. Once again, we have bi, meaning, in both of these words, it means two. So binoculars have two lenses that you look through. Bifocals are glasses that have a second place to look through. They're often used as reading glasses. So there's a section of the glass where you can look through for reading and a section of the glass to look through for seeing far away. So they have two places to focus, or two focal places. The last word is biannual. The biannual meeting will take place next week. How many syllables in bi, an, nu, al? 4. The first syllable is bi, b, I. The second syllable is an, a, n. The third syllable is nu, n, u. And the fourth syllable is al, a, l. Go ahead and write bi, an, nu, al. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is bi, b, I. The second syllable is an, a, n. The third syllable is nu, n, u. And the fourth syllable is al, a, l. And here we have once again the I saying its long sound at the end of the syllable. We have the U saying its long sound at the end of the syllable, which follows the rule A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. And once again, we have the root bi, where the bi means two. So a biannual meeting is a meeting that is had or conducted twice a year. So anything that happens biannually happens 2 times a year, because annual means yearly or once a year. Also, you'll notice in each of these words, we have an I saying its long sound. And that's not part of the rule A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. Rather, there is a different rule that we use for the Y, and that is that I and Y may say I or I at the end of the syllable. And we'll see more of that in later lessons, but here the I is saying its long sound at the end of the syllable, just like the other vowels do. Well, thank you for joining us for Spelling List 9.